Pennsylvania men have sued a white police officer who fatally shot an unarmed black teenager fleeing a traffic stop, saying he fabricated evidence against them in an unrelated case. A lawsuit filed Monday alleges Michael Rosfeld violated the men's civil rights during a December arrest when he worked for the University of Pittsburgh police. Rosfeld arrested Timothy Riley and Jacob Schilling outside the Garage Door Saloon bar in the trendy neighborhood of Oakland. Riley, Schilling and two other men were allegedly asked to leave the bar, according to the Pittsburgh Tribune-Review. CBS local privacy policy. The men had an argument with the bar owner and say Rosfeld lied when he wrote he watched surveillance footage before writing his criminal complaint against them. According to the lawsuit filed Monday with the Allegheny County Common Pleas Court, the two men had a couple of drinks before they were immediately assaulted by the owner of the bar. Share this article. As they were trying to leave the bar, they were forcibly thrown out, their lawyer, Rob Pearce III, told reporters on Monday. Riley was knee in the groin, and Schilling was thrown to the ground, according to Pearce. Riley then went to call the police. When he returned, Rosfeld was already on the scene. Officer Rosfeld immediately told my clients that they were under arrest and that they were going to jail, Pearce said. Rosfeld told Riley and Schilling that he viewed surveillance footage which proves they attacked the bar owner. In fact, the surveillance showed that Riley and Schilling never attacked anyone, according to their attorney. Charges against the men, which included simple assault, trespassing and disorderly conduct, were dropped weeks later at a preliminary hearing on December 21. The charges were withdrawn after prosecutors found discrepancies in Rosfeld's statements. Rosfeld left the university. The men want financial compensation to cover attorneys' fees as well as unspecified damages. Unfortunately, we've also been contacted by more than a half dozen other citizens who have had similar situations with Officer Rosfeld, in particular where charges have in fact been dropped, said Pearce. Pearce said his law firm is looking into these claims, and he and his colleagues anticipate representing more in the near future. You have to understand that the police do not normally drop criminal charges unless they're unfounded in nature, Pearce said. Rosfeld was charged last week with criminal homicide in Antwon Rose Jr.'s shooting, which has sparked protests. Investigators say Rosfeld gave contradicting statements about seeing a gun. Rosfeld's lawyer hasn't returned a message seeking comment. The civil lawsuit against Rosfeld is just the latest legal headache that awaits him. Rosfeld was charged Wednesday with criminal homicide after prosecutors said he shot dead a black teen, Rose, as he fled a traffic stop. Rose showed his hands and clearly didn't have a weapon, according to Allegheny County District Attorney Stephen Zappala. Records show the 30-year-old Rosfeld gave inconsistent statements about whether he believed 17-year-old Antwon Rose Jr. had a gun. Zappala said at a Wednesday morning press conference that you do not shoot someone in the back if they are not a threat to you. The complaint also said Rosfeld gave conflicting statements to county detectives. Officer Rosfeld stated that, after he ordered the driver out and had him prone, but before he could turn his attention to the other occupants, the front passenger exited the vehicle. He said this person turned his hand toward Officer Rosfeld and Officer Rosfeld, saw something dark that he perceived as a gun. This observation caused him to step from behind the cover of his car. This observation caused him to step from behind the cover of his car door to acquire a better view. He then fired his weapon. At the same time, a second person fled the vehicle from the passenger side. At the conclusion of Rosfeld's statement, the detectives asked him to go over the sequence of events one more time. During that rendition, Rosfeld told the detectives that he did not see a gun when the passenger emerged and ran. When confronted with this inconsistency, Rosfeld stated he saw something in the passenger's hand but was not sure what it was. In addition, Officer Rosfeld stated that he was not certain if the individual who had his arm pointed at him was still pointing at him when he fired the shots, the complaint reads. Zappala says the officer's actions clearly support a third-degree murder conviction, but they will ask the jury to consider a full range of charges, including first-degree murder. Zappala says Rosfeld is remorseful. Rosfeld turned himself into authorities around 6:30 a.m., was arraigned at 7:45 a.m., and is currently free after posting $250,000 bond, his attorney said. The district attorney added that Rose had nothing to do with the earlier crime that led to the traffic stop. Rose was a passenger in a car pulled over by Rosfeld because police said it matched the description of a car wanted in a shooting in a nearby town. As Rosfeld was taking the driver into custody, Rose and a second passenger fled. A video taken from a nearby house shows them running from the car. 3 gunshots can be heard, and the passengers can be seen either falling or crouching as they passed between houses. It is unclear from the video if Rosfeld yelled for them to stop. Rose was shot 3 times. Authorities said 2 handguns were retrieved from the car, and Zappala said an empty gun clip was found in Rose's pocket. Lawyers for Rose's family released the following statement on Rosfeld's arraignment. The family views the indictment with guarded optimism. We realize that conviction is a long road ahead, and it will require our continued advocacy on behalf of Antoine. We echo the sentiments that this officer, with a history of violence and a history of manipulating evidence to obscure his violence at previous jobs, there should have been safeguards in place to ensure that he wasn't hired in the first place. Although it feels like we are moving in the direction of justice, the kind of evidence that existed at the time of the shooting, this is justice delayed for the family, said Lee Merritt, family attorney for Antoine Rose's family. The Rose family views the filing of criminal homicide charges with guarded optimism. There is a long road ahead to a conviction and proper sentencing, which is the only thing we will accept as justice, said Antoine Rose family attorneys Fred and Monty Rabner. Rosfeld has been on administrative leave since the shooting occurred. He told WTAE-TV last week he could not discuss the shooting, but said he was getting a lot of support from law enforcement. He also said he stayed away from watching news reports and was not aware of the bystander video posted to social media.